Assalamu alaikum to all of you. Welcome to another my YouTube video. Hope you all are doing great. Today I will show you our tour to Italy that will make your day more glowing and amazing. So let's start the amazing video. Look at these fascinating and beautiful place. Italy may not be a very big country, but it packs plenty of attractions into a small space. Even the most energetic tourist can't expect to see it all at once. You can see the very top highlights in one trip, or you can choose one region to explore in more depth. When planning your Italy itinerary, remember that time you spend traveling from place to place is time you don't have to explore the fascinating corners of the places you stop. That's where Italy's fast and efficient and on time train network will help you. But trains are not the best way to see and experience one of Italy's greatest charm. Its small towns and villages, often perched on hilltops, rolling landscapes on green fields and poppy planted meadows. These breathe history, and in their atmospheric street, you will have a better chance to meet and interact with the country's greatest treasured people. But there are plenty of options in these interiors. You will find the most famous sites: Italia, the Tower of Pisa, the Grand Canal, and others. But you will also find suggestions for trips that take you into the very heart of Italy. And to places your friend have never seen. Plan your trip to Italy and discover the best places to visit with these top interiors. You could easily find enough attractions to spend a week in each of these cities, but you can see the highlights of all three in a well planned week. The total travel time between Venice and Rome is only 3.5 hours, so you can make the maximum use of your time. Of course, you will want to see the main sights, but do allow some time to stroll through a neighborhood or two and sit in a cafe to soak up the atmosphere. Beautiful place, you can see. For example, after you have ridden the length of the Grand Canal and tourist site, Mark Square and the Dog Place, cross bridge into the Rabbit Warren to narrow lanes in Polo. Here you will find mask makers, tiny shops, and studies, as well as churches filled with art and squares where neighborhood children play soccer. In Rome, after the Colosseum and painters explore the streets of the former south of the Florence, follow your tours of the place art museum and gardens with a stroll through the neighborhood. Longer is between, of course, and with a day or two to spare, you can either see more of each of the big three, or you could make a stopover to see Bologna or Hilltop Siena. The main train lines between the major cities go right through both. You don't need to stay overnight in either of these, as you can check your luggage at the train station while your tour. To make the most of your time, reserve tickets in advance to big attractions and museums such as the Uffizi. This can be followed in either direction. The hilltop towns in Scani are legendary for their beauty, their history, and the romance of their settings. Many still retain the walls and castles that were their defense in the Middle Age, and the art in their churches reflection, wealth, and power. A car is the best and sometimes the only way to see many of these towns and the remote that are also part of heritage. You could easily spend a week exploring the countryside to savor its village life, but you can see a good deal in 4 or 5 days. Being southwest of Florence in Volterra, whose historic center retains Tower House from the 12th and 13th centuries and which is still famous for its alabaster carving. Some is a short distance to the north and one of the view across the surrounding countryside. Mainly for its tall towers, old upper down still has some of its 13th century walls and the plaza houses from a nearby chemistry in its heading south. The little town of sits inside a complete set of perfectly preserved 13th century wall with 14 square towers. It's a favorite day trip from Sina. We enjoyed a lot during this ride. Sina is worth a day or two stops filled with Renaissance building and one of the finest. You will find more artifacts in the Museum of Sina. A hill town south of Sina, the large elevation monastery of Monto was founded in 13,000 and remains an active monastic community. Montalcino is not very big, but it seems to have stepped out of the Middle Age, intact inside walls built by the saints in 1361. Walk the well preserved wall, visit rooms inside the fortress, and savor view of the Tuscan countryside from the castle. Just to the south is the Benedict Abbey of dating from at least 813 with a church wall best known reflecting the continuing power of its leading families even after the small towns here had declined. Although you can travel from Milan to Venice by train in 2.5 hours, the same train route provides a made to order tour of some of northern Italy's most important art and historic attractions. The train line connects major Roman stronghold centers of medieval and culture, religious landmarks, and great centers of learning. To spend full day exploring each of these with time to see the highlights of both Venice and Milan. You should plan at least 10 days, but you can pick from among the stops for a shorter trip. It's easy to see any of these cities without spending the night. You can check baggage at any train station. Your first stop preserves much of its Roman past with parts of a temple, theatre, and its form still standing, and fine civic museum that includes a Roman villa floors if the allows our stopover is a good chance to tour lake on the boats that leave regularly from the center of town. With a stone castle and beautiful view of the steep northern shores, we enjoyed boat ride while you could spend a week just seeing all the Renaissance wonders of Florence. You can easily add Pisa and 2 or 3 other towns in a week's vacation. Handily, they are strung like beads along a route you can follow by train or bus because the regional trains don't require seat reservations. You can buy your ticket at the station in Florence and travel anytime to wish. Be sure to stamp it in the machine on the platform before you board. These towns are only 15 to 45 minutes apart. We enjoy a lot. We took a lot of desserts and foods in our tour. We enjoyed horse riding. Hope you like my video. For more upcoming events tour videos, don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. Stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.